Hi, welcome back to NMI. In this video we are going to take a look at the Apple II Plus power supply. And the reason for that is that as I was preparing for recording a video on the Scout Search, which is gonna be 40 years soon, I was using the Apple II and testing stuff on this Apple II Plus, and the power supply gave up. There was a lot of smoke, and now I need to fix it. Okay, so here is the Apple II power supply. Just removed it from the machine. I kept the screws here, and we can see that this power supply was never open. It still has the rivets here, so we're gonna have to remove them and also remove the screws in order to have access to the power supply inside. Let's see. The rivet is spinning. Okay, we're making some progress. Okay, so the bottom of the power supply is off now. We can see there's a number of screws that we have to remove. Let's remove them. So that we can have access to the PCB. Okay. Finally. I'm gonna have to desolder these two wires. Turn on this soldering iron. I cannot, well, maybe we don't need to remove these wires. We're just gonna remove that capacitor. Yeah. Well, look at this. Yeah, that is a failed capacitor. I don't know if it's gonna focus. Yeah. But here you can see, right? Do we have more of these? The ceramic. ceramic, that is ceramic. These electrolytics, they don't have bulges, so not gonna replace them yet. Before we proceed fixing the power supply, let's have a look at the schematics and the list of components of this power supply. So here I have the schematics I got from the internet. This power supply is an Aztec 11040B. That's the model that I have there. And here is the schematics. It's a switched power supply, so it's a very nice design. We can see here that the power supply has 4 voltage outputs, so +5, +12, -5, and -12. What else we can see? The main important thing that we want really to see is this C1 here. So this guy is our capacitor that failed. And if we look at the bill of materials here, C1 is a 0.1 microfarad 250 volts AC capacitor. MP stands for metallized paper. So I am not sure the capacitor that I have there is MP. It could well be. In that case, I thought it was only paper, right? But it doesn't matter. So we're gonna replace this capacitor, and coming back here to the schematics, if we look for other capacitors that could fail, none of them listed here in the bill of materials. They are paper capacitors, right? They're mostly ceramic. There's this poly one. Yeah, there are a few poly ones, but I am not super concerned with them. And then of course we can have leaking capacitors, the bigger ones, but from a visual inspection didn't show any problem on these capacitors, so I'm not gonna replace them right now. So that's it. Just wanted to show you the schematics. I'm linking the document in the video description. This document has a bunch of Apple power supply schematics. It's pretty cool. It also describes the operation of the PSU, and I think it's very interesting reading. So now let's go back and replace the capacitor. Okay, I just received the new capacitor ordered from Mauser. Just a curiosity, let me show you. This is the RIFA capacitor, the one that exploded here, right? So I was chatting my dad, and is it gonna focus here? So RIFA is actually the brand, but these are paper capacitors. And I was chatting my dad, and he was telling me that in the past these capacitors, they used to be, the insulation was made of bee wax, which is pretty cool, right? I didn't know. The smell, don't know if this one is like that. So there is this plastic cover, but inside you can see, but this is like a resin, so I don't know if inside that maybe there is some kind of wax. I'm not sure. but the smell is very odd, so maybe it is wax. Anyway, these capacitors, they have the tendency of getting moisture inside, and then the moisture causes the capacitance to change to a point where they fail, and when they fail they short, and you get all the smoke because they start to burn, right? So here we have the new capacitor. No, it can't focus. Maybe if I do this. Yeah. Anyway, this is the closest equivalent that I could find. So I'm gonna replace or install it on the power supply, and we should be good to go. And that's it. Oh, rotation. Capacitor is there. Let's put everything back together. And we are done. Now let's reinstall it inside the Apple II Plus, which by the way, I'm gonna show you, I think for the first time. This is a new acquisition to my I don't want to say collection, but I'm gonna say collection. So my collection of retro machines. So here it is, my first Apple II Plus. I don't have, well, I only have two machines. This one and the Apple II, the Frankenstein Apple IIe that I already showed you. But this is a very nice machine. The basic difference between this machine and the Apple IIe, as far as I understand, is that this machine still has only TTL ICs, right? There's no custom IC. The Apple IIe has plenty of custom ICs made for Apple. This one still has all ordinary plain standard TTLs, right? And then the keyboard is also different. This is a very nice keyboard, but a lot of people say that when it gets damaged, it's a pretty it's a nightmare to fix them. So but this one appears to be working fine, so I'm very happy with that. And that's it. Maybe at some other time I'm gonna show you the whole board, but for now let's reinstall the power supply and make it work again. Yeah, I'm gonna have to turn the machine. Done. Now all I have to do is to reattach the cards that go here. There is an 80 column card and a memory expansion, I think, here, and there is a drive, a floppy drive controller card, and then we are ready for testing and for typing the program. Okay, so first we're gonna install this RAM expansion. I said it was also an 80 column board, but I don't think so. This is just the memory expansion. It replaces one of the RAM chips here, and we can see that there are 3 banks of RAM chips. So we're gonna install it there, here, and then we need to install the floppy drive and the controller, right? So let's put this guy here. Let me see, what is the right slot? I think it's the last one. The connection here is correct. Now let's install this cover. We have the floppy here. I'm gonna connect a video cable and power, and we're gonna test. Okay, I have a monitor connected there. We can see the monitor on screen. Everything is connected. I have power, so let's power it on and see if it's working. Yep. Cool. Now I'm gonna try a disk. Okay, so now we have the DOS 3.3 here. Let's see. Yep. Cool. It's working. Well, that's it for this video. Now the Apple II Plus is working fine, and I can finally start typing and testing Scout Search. So see you next time. Bye.